This is called the law of cause and effect and is referred to as the doctrine of karma. Each human being has a freedom to perform action. And every action that we perform produces results or fruits. Now we have to work out, go through the fruits of these actions, whatever they may be, good or bad. Punyena punyalokam nayati papena papa ubhabhyameva manushyalokam, Prashnopnishad number 3:7. Now some of these actions, due to their inherent nature, they bear fruit maybe in this life itself. And some are like term deposits with long maturity dates. They pass on to other lives. This is destiny. Destiny is nothing but the result of our own actions which we performed with a freedom of will. So in other words, we are products of the past and producers of the future. You want to know what your future is? Your future is nothing but the past modified by the present. Fruit arises out of action and action out of fruit. So we get what we earn, no less and no more. Therefore, to cry out against some injustice is only ignorance of this law of karma. To be born a cripple or an athlete, to be born a beggar or a king is just a sum total of your own actions, and God in no way is responsible for the pleasure and pain that we experience. This is the law of karma, and it is through this is the chain that ties us to the wheel of birth and rebirth, which is called the doctrine of reincarnation. I'm sure you've heard of all these terminologies. Now, more and more people in this world are beginning to accept both the law of karma and the doctrine of reincarnation, because this is the only thing that makes life meaningful. Now, what I'm telling you today so far, it will take months to explain and years to understand. That's why you'll excuse me if I briefly refer to these points. You have to come to the main point. I'll quote to you some beautiful words of a Western philosopher, William Jones, what he said 2 centuries ago. He is the one who introduced Indian philosophy to Europe, and he says, I am no Hindu, but I hold the Hindu doctrine concerning rebirth as incomparably more pious, more rational, more likely to deter man from vice than the horrid opinions inculcated by the Christians about punishment without an end. Now let us come to the next point. What is God's role here in this whole picture that we are talking about? Because we need to know properly the facts. Most people, whenever they have to go through any kind of tragedy or accident, they end up blaming God, accusing Him, grumbling to Him, and even cursing Him. So before we waste our time, let's find out the facts. The first thing, the first role of God is He gives us the power to do. That's why it is said, not to leave stirred without the will of God. The power of action to do. We have beautiful verses in the Vedas. Yan manasana manute yena bhurmanomatam tadeva brahmaton vidhi nedam yadidam upasate yad vacha nabhyuditam yena vagabhyudyate tadeva brahmaton vidhi nedam yadidam upasate yad chakshushan pashyati yena chakshugamshi pashyati tadeva brahmaton. It's a very long verse. Kenopnishad 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's this verse saying? It says here, taking up each sense organs, that God, it is He who gives the power to speak to the tongue. The tongue has a double function. The only sense organ that has two functions, taste and speaking. And this is the most dangerous of all sense organs, because 99% of the unhappiness in this world is due to this tongue, what we speak. And unfortunately, we have a lot of trainers, lion trainers, snake trainers, etc., but there is no tongue trainer. So He gives the power of seeing to the eyes, the power of hearing to the ears, etc., etc. So He empowers us to do, but does not interfere in our freedom to do. He gives you the power, and you're free to do. Free to see what you want to, free to hear what you want to, free to say what you want to. But the power is His. He does not interfere. And He says that in this great book of scripture, Bhagavad Gita. Na gatritvam na karmani lokasya srijate prabhu. Chapter 5, 14th verse. Nadate kasya chit papam na chainam sukritam vibhu. 5th chapter, 15th verse. Next. After giving us the power to do, we have the freedom to do. What does He do after that? He takes a note of each and every action that we perform, of each and every second. Every action. What a master computer that must be. You can't imagine. Every human being, all that is recorded. Nothing goes, nothing escapes from there. It's all recorded. That's the next thing that He does. And thirdly, after recording all those actions of ours, He gives the fruits. He is the one who dispenses the fruits of the actions. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know and accept, even villagers in India, वो कहते हैं जैसा कर्म करेंगे. So we are born into this, and a lot of religions accept that the misery, the cruelty, the suffering that we see and experience in life is our own doing. But our question is, we don't have any, you could say, objection to God rewarding us for our good actions. But why does He punish us for our bad actions? That is our problem. It is said that God is the loving Father. All religions. We are His children. Amritasya Vaiputra Ved. Our Father which art in heaven. And not only that, the scriptures talk about many other relations. Divyo Deva Eko Narayano Mata Pita Bhrata Nivasa Sharanam. Subhalopnishad Mantra 6:4.